everyone, I'm back with another video, and today's video is going to focus on the record start to December, especially with warm conditions that we've had throughout pretty much the South and into the Mid-Atlantic, Northeast, and even into the Midwestern states as well. Record warmth to start off the month of December. Now, last month, November, was a bit on the cool side. It was still I think the 16th or 17th warmest month on record, which is still up there, you know, with dates going all the way back over 100 years ago and stuff. That's still pretty impressive. However, it wasn't as warm as we anticipate December to be. Now, last week, today is Saturday, the 8th, last week was the first official week of December, and we had widespread 70s and 80s all across the South. We had 70s spreading up into the Midwest, going into the Ohio River Valley, and even the Mid-Atlantic, and even going into the Northeast. It was like 50s and 60s, all as far up into northern New England, which is unheard of. Temperatures are typically in the 30s, like 30s and 40s up in New England, and they were seeing 50s and 60s. So that kind of gives you just a idea of how warm it has been over the past week. Now, we did have the big parade of storms that I mentioned in my last video. Those have all gone across the whole entire country, and the West is kind of just like dried out for a little bit right now. The next big weather player that we have coming into the country is we're going to see a change in the air temperature and precipitation. We're finally going to get the season's first snowfall across the upper Midwest and going into the Great Lakes region. So this is what's going to happen. Today is Saturday, like I mentioned, and we are going to have a trough kind of build in the Rockies here with a low pressure system. It's going to be ushering in a lot of cold air. And then as the system moves into the plains and strengthens, we are going to have moisture with it as well. And with that cold air wrapping around the system, it is going to produce a lot of snow. Now, most of the snow is going to be on the eastern side of the system. So places from Minneapolis to Chicago to Green Bay to the UP of Michigan, all these places are going to have substantial snow, possibly anywhere between 4 to 8 inches, maybe about 6 inches in Minneapolis. You have to go more into the UP of Michigan and northern Minnesota around Duluth, where you're going to find possibly 8, 10, maybe up to a foot of snow this weekend. And this is mainly just going to be today and tomorrow, just a weekend event. It will roll on by into the Northeast come Monday and stuff. But we are going to have this season's first kind of just accumulating snow, you could say, across this region. However, on the back side of it, we are going to have a lot of cold air, and I mean a lot of cold air. Temperatures are going to be near 0 degrees overnight lows coming into this weekend, and it is going to be blustery. So if you do live in these areas, you are going to have blizzard conditions most likely coming into after the storm has passed. After the snowfall has stopped and everything, it's going to be kind of that fine powdery snow, and we are going to have stiff winds out of the northwest after that, so you are going to experience blizzard conditions. Other than that, we are going to still have a pump of warm air coming into the south and going into the mid-Atlantic. Today in D.C. is going to be about lower 60s. You're going to find more widespread 70s down into North Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia, going down to Jacksonville, Florida, and spreading across most of the South. New Orleans about 75, 76. Houston today is going to be about 80 degrees. That's really warm. And a couple of these places, especially tomorrow going into Sunday, could break some daily high records. Tomorrow is supposed to be slightly warmer than it is today. As this storm system makes its way across the Great Lakes and going into the Northeast on Monday, it is going to usher in slightly cooler conditions. However, ahead of it, we are going to have another warm-up. So D.C. on Monday could hit 70 degrees. And I think that might be an actual record high. I'm not entirely sure. New York is supposed to be in the mid-60s, Boston in the low 60s. That's on Monday before this warm system moves across and knocks those temperatures down. But after that cold front moves across the region, we are going to have a lot colder air. Temperatures are going to go back to normal, which Mid-Atlantic is about, like upper 40s. New England, like I said, 40s and even 30s. So it's going to be a lot colder next week. So enjoy the nice warm stretch of warm weather this weekend, and especially during the South as well. We are going to see slightly cooler temperatures, not a big drastic change coming next week, but we are going to find cooler conditions back to about average coming into the beginning of next week. So So that is my video for today. The West is pretty much just tranquil, not a whole lot going on in the West. They've been dealing with just that parade of storms from 2 weekends ago, pretty much, or last weekend, so they're all good. They don't need more storms right now. But other than that, not a whole lot of other big weather systems coming into play over the next week or so. Coming into the holiday actual season, coming into the latter part of December, we could have a couple storm systems making our way across the country, and I'll give you more updates on those as time passes by. Until next time, remember to keep your eye to the sky. Enjoy the warm weather if you're here in DC. Obviously, I have short sleeve on today, and other places in the South. And if you're in Minneapolis, Green Bay, Duluth, enjoy the nice wintry weather for your first accumulating snow of the season. See you guys later. Bye.